history for Illinois Wesleyan basketball.
This is CCIW Women's Basketball on the CCIW Network. From the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois, it's the perfect in conference play, the 4-0 Illinois Wesleyan Titans against the North Park Vikings. I'm Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Brittany, the Titans are coming off of a bye on Wednesday after an exhilarating, dominant win against second seed in the CCIW Carroll last Saturday.
Yeah, that was such an impressive game for them, and I think the biggest thing for them today will be continuing to focus on, every conference opponent, because as we know, that's, slip-ups happen, and I think this team will be prepared for that.
This is a thin North Park team, only 11 players. They have yet to win a game in conference play. They haven't won a game in conference play since the 2023-2024 academic year. What do they need to do against the top-seeded Titans?
Well, I think, get off to a good start is going to be important to them. I do think they are improved in some areas, but certainly taking care of the basketball, and that first quarter is going to be really important for this Vikings team.
We'll be joined by Titan assistant coach Brian Ersman coming up right after this on the CCIW Network.
I know, I saw it. Testing. Oh, I can hear it.
Back at the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois, the Titans and the Vikings about to do battle. Matt Sossler alongside assistant coach Brian Ersman. Coach, you're coming off a bye, off of a huge win against Carroll, facing off against a North Park team that's been towards the bottom of the league. What's your edge on a day like this?
Yeah, definitely want to pick up where we left off. We thought last Saturday was one of the best games of our season in terms of overall performance, defensive pressure-wise, and then offensively, nice to see some threes fall. We have good shooters, just hasn't been the highest percentage yet this year. So kind of combined all that on Saturday, and I think that's the biggest thing is like being able to keep your edge while having the extra long week of practice.
The Wednesday bye always provides an opportunity to focus on yourself. What does this week in practice look like in order to get your team ready for today?
I think in practice, obviously, we can mix up the groups a little bit more, play with different players than, and again, like you said, more about ourselves. So maybe less structure on what the other team's going to do and just do what we do best. And that's what practices were filled with, at least on Monday through Wednesday.
How do you avoid a lull coming off of the win against Carroll with the bye and then against North Park today?
Yeah, coming out strong and starting with the statement early. I think when you come out a little bit sluggish, that leaves some more doubt in their mind. Like, man, it has been a week since we've done this. But when you get out aggressive right from the start, I think that memory triggers a little bit faster from last Saturday.
We haven't talked about this since it happened, but Sawyer White broke yet another one of your sister's records, this time the all-time steals record in Florida. She followed that with a career-high 37 points to go along with 8 steals. She's at 305 on her career. How has her play helped this team over the last couple of weeks, both breaking the record and leading the team over Carroll last weekend?
Well, first of all, I can never celebrate a record that's been broken of my sister's. I'm just kidding. No, she's been playing great, and we've obviously been on her to be aggressive offensively. She's always been that kind of defender. She's wreaked havoc on the other team. That's kind of been, her MO. But I think this year, combining that with her offensive production, she's just taking it up a whole nother level. She's a fantastic player. So just really proud of the growth she's shown as a leader and in all areas of her game.
This is a North Park squad that has played a couple of conference foes on the tighter side. What's your scout against the Vikings?
Yeah, they have a lot of the same players that have been in the rotation for the last 3 years. I think a couple of them, Caroline Long and Aaliyah Hirschberger, they've put up some good numbers, and they look more confident than they have in the past. I mean, they know they can compete in the CCIW themselves, so I'm really impressed with those two specifically. They had a really tight game at North Central where they were leading most of the game. Lost that lead in the last minute. That was close, so they've shown a lot of improvement. One thing I told our players is, you can look at their record, but they beat Loris by 22, and Loris beat Wisconsin Lutheran, who beat us. So if you want to play the compare game, that should at least open our eyes.
Your keys to a Titan victory?
Starting out fast. We want to, play our game no matter who the opponent is. So continue to hit ahead offensively, and then defensively, ball pressure, speed them up. They have some good half-court sets, but if we can speed them up in the full court, we're not going to get to them.
Assistant Coach Brian Ersman on the pregame show. Lineups and more coming up right after this. It's the Titans on the Vikings on the CCIW Network.
Thanks, guys.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
They say every challenge holds an opportunity. At Illinois Wesleyan, you've got the power to seize it. Here you'll find the tools, mentors, and real-world experiences to take on any challenge and become the person you're meant to be. The best college in Illinois for landing a job? You're looking at it.
Tap or click now to start your free application
and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
At NCAA Championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship, coming to Bloomington, Illinois this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
right, pay attention. Welcome to Fandom 101. We'll cover the tools of the trade from foam fingers in the wave to the super secret wave. How's that for a course description? Lesson 1, your game starts long before the opening whistle, so arrive prepared. 2, if something piques your interest, raise your hand. And 3, work in groups. NCAA championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Back in Bloomington, 17th ranked Illinois Wesleyan about to welcome North Park into the Shirk Center for a CCIW bout. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Brittany Sawyer-White is coming off of her best couple of weeks, not only of this season, but some could argue of her career. She hopes to continue that this afternoon.
Absolutely. She's playing some of the best basketball she's played in a Titans uniform, and that's really the key for this team, I think, is for her to be aggressive on the offensive end. We know what she can do on the defensive side of the basketball, but for this team to play to the best of their ability, you need a really aggressive Sawyer-White on the offensive end.
Coach Ayersman talked about it just a couple of minutes ago, but Caroline Long has been so reliable for the Vikings.
Yeah, just a solid player for them. I mean, averaging almost a double-double there with, 13 points, 7.5 rebounds. And so for them to be in this game, they need her to show up, especially down in the post where maybe that's a spot where she can take advantage of the Titans.
The Titans have won their last 5 over North Park. Will the Vikings shake up the CCIW, or will Illinois Wesleyan remain in firm control of a conference in which they've won the last couple of regular season titles? North Park and Illinois Wesleyan coming up right after this on the CCIW Network.
Why is Illinois Wesleyan the #1 school in Illinois for jobs? Maybe it's because we're the AND University. That's right, A-N-D. And. Here you can explore the arts and study in a pre-professional program. Double major and play a sport. Do an internship and study abroad. Your opportunities are endless. Set yourself apart with a degree from Illinois Wesleyan.
Back to the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Illinois. I'm Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. It's a basketball twin bill this afternoon. First, the women's game between Illinois Wesleyan and North Park University. And with pregame introductions, we send it down courtside.
Illinois Wesleyan University's Shirk Center for today's CCIW matchup, featuring our guests from Chicago, Illinois, the Vikings of North Park University. The Vikings enter today's contest with an overall record of 4-9 and a CCIW mark of 0-4. Illinois Wesleyan enters this contest with a 9-4 overall record and sit alone atop the CCIW standings with a perfect 4-0 conference record. The Titans are ranked number 17 in the most recent D3Hoops.com poll. Now we'd like to direct your attention to center court as we recognize senior Sawyer-White with a steal in Illinois Wesleyan's game against the Wisconsin Movement on December 29th. White knocked the 297th steal of her career to break the program record previously held by Rebecca Anderson. Since then, White has become the first Titan to eclipse 3,000 career steals and his second all-time in conference history. Nationally, White's 305 career steals are ranked 8th most among active women's basketball players across D1, D2, or D3. She has the second most steals to her name of any current NCAA Division III student athlete, trailing only Hunter's Alexa Charles. Fans, one more time, join me in congratulating your all-time women's basketball career steal leader, Sawyer-White. At this time, we ask that you please stand if you're able, remove your hats, and join in the singing of our national anthem. Now let's meet today's starting lineups. The head coach for North Park is Annie Radenkovich. The Vikings starters today include at guard, a 5'6" junior from Elkhart, Indiana, number 2, Aaliyah Hirschberger. At guard, a 5'7" sophomore from Hortonville, Wisconsin, number 4, Naomi Kaskovich. At guard, a 5'11" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 11, Teresa Morrissey. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Mount Prospect, Illinois, number 12, Catherine Keene. And at forward, a 5'10" junior from Kokomo, Indiana, number 25, Caroline Long.
Let's meet the starting lineup for your Illinois Wesleyan University Titans. At guard, a 5'8" senior from Downers Grove, Illinois, number 2, Sawyer Wright. At guard, a 5'9" senior from Bloomington, Illinois, number 3, Sarah Valley. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Lincolnshire, Illinois, number 22, Ava Bird. At forward, a 5'11" freshman from Park Ridge, Illinois, number 23, Caitlin Layden. And at forward, a 6'1" freshman from Carthage College, number 24, Aja Kovalarczyk. The Titans are coached by Maya Smith, assisted by Brian Ayersman, Kate Bowman, Sammy Matush, and Chad.
The starting five for the green and white, Maya Smith going with a very similar group to what she has gone with for the entirety of the season. Illinois Wesleyan sits at 9-4, 4-0 in league play. North Park enters on a 2-game skid. They are 4-9, 0-4 in CCIW play. They had a 3-game win streak in December, and the Vikings, Brittany, they try to shake up the CCIW with an upset this afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be important for this Viking team to come out hot and, keep it competitive. And I think having that time off for the Titans is going to be interesting as well. So I'm excited to see what unfolds here this afternoon.
Caitlin Layden and Caroline Long in the center circle. And the tip is controlled by the Vikings. Right out of the gates, it's Caroline Long. Leaves it just a tad strong.
Yeah, really good back door there, though, by Long. So happy with that if you're the Vikings.
Bardick off the mark in a tussle. Still on the ground. Out of bounds, Illinois Wesleyan basketball.
Yeah, a little skirmish there. It looked like it was going to go out on the Titans. So unfortunate for the Vikings there that she went after that ball.
Both of these teams, in terms of turnovers, have done a decent job of taking care of the basketball. However, there have been a lot of games where sometimes that stat can go off the rails.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really important in this game is who can take care of the basketball and get good quality shots each time down the floor.
Shea Bowen out of Evanston, Illinois, checks in for North Park. We saw Catherine Keene exit a little gingerly as Sawyer White continues what she started a week ago with her first deuce.
Yeah, a straight line drive there. If you're the Vikings, you really need to step in and make her make a decision with the basketball. And unfortunately for the Vikings, hopefully Keene's okay. They're already a short bench as it is.
Only 11 players for North Park, and for the first time we see the run and jump take effect for Illinois Wesleyan. That's a 10-second call.
Yeah, just got caught there in no man's land, and they're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive going forward. You have to play north-south against this this Titans run and jump.
That's the first turnover forced by Illinois Wesleyan today. Layden puts the Titans up by 4.
Really strong, aggressive move there by Caitlin Layden, and she got the one-on-one in the post and really liked her matchup there. Strong finish.
North Park breaks the press. White with the takeaway, second turnover by North Park. And the fourth point off a turnover for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, Vikings had a person under the rim wide open. It was just a little late there, and a good conversion on the other end for the Titans.
Aaliyah Hirschberger, the junior out of Elkhart, Indiana, has never played less than 35 minutes for North Park. We talked about their thin bench, relying a lot on Hirschberger and Long. The 3-ball goes down from Teresa Morrissey, the junior out of Chicago.
Yeah, a really good-looking shot there, no hesitation, and you have to be happy if you're the Vikings. That's what you have to do is catch and be ready to shoot.
So the Vikings cut the gap in half. Sarah Bali thought Kobalarczyk was going to cut.
Yeah, Vikings kind of jammed that cut there, and the turnover there happened because of that, and Vikings get to go down the other way.
Trying to cut the gap down to 1. See a bit of a mismatch. Long on Bardick. Bardick forces the jump ball.
No ball. Possession to Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, good defense there by Ava Bardick. A little undersized, obviously, going against Long there, and held her ground and forced the jump ball.
6-3 Illinois Wesleyan in the early going as the Titans try to remain perfect in conference play. Layden, who's already got 2, makes it 4 for her in the early goings.
Yeah, great action there on the strong side there. Kobalarczyk drove and pitches behind to Layden, who was wide open for that little jumper.
Something the two of them are quite familiar with. High school teammates at Maine South before both continued playing basketball here at Illinois Wesleyan. Count it, and 1 for Morrissey. She's got 5 and a chance to make it 6.
Yeah, really good finish there by Morrissey. It looked like the Vikings were going to get stuck right across half court, and they were able to step through. And again, that's the disadvantage of the run and jump, is if you're super aggressive in the front court, you often leave someone at the rim in the back court, and that's what happened there.
Morrissey now 10 of 14 from the free throw line this year. So despite the early Illinois Wesleyan advantage, North Park has kept this at a close distance. Layden, great start for her. She's got 6.
Yeah, a little 1-2-2 there from the Vikings, and the Titans were able to break that with ease, and Layton just straight line drive after the catch over half court.
Already passed her total, what she had last Saturday against Carroll. She had 4 then, averages just 9 points per game, however, is the top Illinois Wesleyan rebounder.
Yeah, and that's what we talk a lot about with her, is just how aggressive she is on the boards.
Kobalarczyk stole it, immediately went down. Sawyer White finishes on the other end.
Yeah, it looked like maybe something to the eye there.
White's got 4. Layden with the denial against Kaskovich. We'll see Martha Lippick give Kobalarczyk some rest.
Yeah, really good defense there by Caitlin Layden. The Vikings trying to aggressively drive, and she straight up there and makes the block and the ball out of bounds.
So physical battle so far. You mentioned North Park's thin bench. Illinois Wesleyan, even though they're deeper to begin with, they're playing on the lighter end this afternoon. Bardick for 3. Rebounded by Long. Megan Allen, the freshman, along with Madison Sears, inactive for this one.
Yeah, they haven't played a ton on their bench, but they have a lot of kids that have had a lot of experience playing big minutes.
Another Titan turnover. However, they give it right back for the moment. Long eventually cleans it up for North Park.
Yeah, I think if you're Sawyer White there, one more dribble and then an easy bounce pass.
Thrown out of bounds by Hirschberger, wanted Bowen. Hasn't been the cleanest of basketball in the first 5 minutes.
No, and if you're the Titans, that's maybe kind of what you expected after a layoff like that. It's sometimes hard to get back into the rhythm of a game. But if you're the Vikings, you're pleased that you're only down 6 up until this point.
Bardick, in and out over her last 2. Freshman Rena Robinson takes a knee at the scorer's bench as Kaskovich brings it over. Sophomore out of Hortonville, Wisconsin. Free ball from Morrissey. Layden comes up with it.
Yeah, really good challenge there by Bardick. Vikings working the clock, though, which I think in this game is what they need to do.
Layden with another. She's got 8.
Yeah, really good start there from Caitlin Layden, confidently catching and shooting the ball.
Out of bounds, North Park basketball. And this has been a topic over the last couple of weeks with this new-look Titan team compared to last year. We'll take a deeper dive into that when we come back. Media timeout. Titans up by 8 midway through 1 on the CCIW network. Back in Bloomington, Maya Smith's Illinois Wesleyan Titans with a 14-6 advantage. Smith coming off a historic win where she passed Lori Cairns as the CCIW's all-time in-conference wins leader, something that has been a theme here in Bloomington Normal amongst women's college basketball coaches. She's opposed by Annie Radankovich, who's done a good job at slowly building this North Park team, but in this new era of college athletics, getting a program off the ground is as hard as ever.
Yeah, it really is, Matt, and credit to her for getting this team, to be a lot more competitive than they've been in the past couple of years. So it does take time, and you hope administrations understand that.
4 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline J goes down from Kaskovich.
Yeah, really great pass there from Long to Kaskovich and a nice shot at the end of the shot clock.
Bali with the answer. Rebounded by Long. So Smith passed Lori Cairns. at 296 wins. And on the other side of town, this past Thursday, Kristen Gillespie of ISU became only the 10th coach to reach 100 Missouri Valley Conference wins, joining the likes of Lisa Bluter, Jenny Baranchek, and the Hall of Famer Jill Hutchison.
Yeah, great company for both of those coaches who have done, incredible things at both of their programs. And, the Bloomington Normal community is sure lucky to have, I think, both of them at the helms of these programs.
Rena Robinson, the freshman out of San Jose, into the contest for the first time. Soccer-style play by Kaskovich. Kick ball, Illinois Wesleyan maintains control as the former two-sport athlete, Sawyer White, re-enters.
Yeah, Kaskovich playing off there a little bit, making the entry pass hard on Robinson. But, you have to be happy if you're the Vikings. They're really taking advantage of using the entire shot clock on the offensive end and not letting the runouts happen for the Titans.
Leah Palmer also enters for Illinois Wesleyan. Palmer with the long two, long with another board. Morrissey kicks out to Hirschberger. Lippick with the rebound. Hirschberger, one of the leaders in field goal percentage nationally.
Yeah, a good look there. It didn't go down, but you have to be happy with the ball control and the shot selection there for the Vikings.
Titans a little cold after the media timeout.
Yeah, and I think some of it just gets some better ball movement, some quick shots. I think, move the ball around a couple times, get the defense going side to side.
Rebound by Long, gets the second chance.
Yeah, and you can see why Caroline Long is this leading scorer here for this Vikings team. A really great rebound and finish around the rim.
Averages 13 points a game. The junior out of Kokomo, Indiana. Lippick quickly doubled. She's fouled, so we'll get the first free throws of the afternoon.
Yeah, I thought Long had, really good defense there, and then Shea Bowen with the reach in at the end there, which is a tough spot for the Vikings. You had her stopped, and then, kind of that late last-second reach in gives her, 2 free throws.
Lippick 9 of 13 from the stripe this year. Senior out of Oak Park, Illinois.
The critical stretch here with, 4 bench players in for the Titans the last 2 minutes of this first quarter here. I think, whether they maintain or push the lead, but you can see early Maya Smith going to her bench a little bit more often.
Alyssa Epps into the game, her first action of the calendar year. Did not play against Carroll, also was extremely limited in their Florida trip. And given the Christmas layoff, this is her first real action in about a month's time.
Yeah, and I just think the more you get into the conference play, you're going to have to get a little deeper on your bench.
Baseline drive. In and out from Catherine Keene. Good to see her back on the floor after she exited early with an injury.
Yeah, I like that she drove the close out there, and runner didn't fall, but again, you have to be happy with the shot quality there.
Lippick once more, travel before the shot.
Traveling violation, possession to the Vikings.
Yeah, Long doing a really nice job there on Lippick. She's stretching her out, facing her up a little bit, but Long holding her ground.
The Titans led by 8 at the under 5. North Park has kept this close. Once again with a chance to make it a one-score game. Hirschberger, a mismatch against Lippick, and Lippick with a good challenge.
Yeah, really good defense there. Hirschberger was really never able to find the rim and clear the defensive glass. Now the Titans an opportunity here on the offensive end.
White from long range. Rebound by the Vikings. Keene with some numbers against the Titans' top defender. And another good defensive stronghold for the green and white. Palmer heads to the line.
Yeah, I think the last 2 possessions there, if you're the Vikings, you want to be aggressive. But, again, finding the right shot there. I thought maybe, pull that one back out. Long was trailing. She could have gone into the post there. And then, an easy run out on the other end.
It's on Morrissey, her first. And the team's second, Palmer, the redshirt freshman out of Geneva, Illinois. Now 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Palmer, the mid-year transfer out of Lewis, still searching for her first field goal in a Titan jersey.
Yeah, sometimes that's just a little bit of an adjustment period. Coming in new, getting acclimated to, a new program and system. And I think, she'll find her footing here in, certainly this game.
5-second violation, so Illinois Wesleyan gets it back.
Inbounding violation.
Yeah, and that's, when you put them at the free throw line or allowed made shots, you're allowing them to get, Titans good, into their run and jump, what they want to do.
Kobalarczyk also back in the game after being shaken up early. Epps for 3. Second chance after the Bardic rebound. Alyssa Epps blows a tire, takes Caroline Long out with her.
Vikings foul charge number 25.
And Long will get charged with the foul.
Third team foul.
Yeah, both being aggressive there, just a little late to take away that cut.
Third team foul on North Park. 9-second difference between shot and game clock. Palmer with 5 to shoot, spins around, doesn't fall, hit off the rim 3 times. North Park can hang on for the last look.
Yeah, they want to make sure they get the last shot here.
3 seconds. Keene with Long, the three-pointer, banks in.
Yeah, kind of a thrown up prayer there, but it goes down, and a huge momentum there for the Vikings at the end of the quarter.
Long's first 3 of the season. Cuts the gap down to 4, 17-13 Titans as we head to the second 10 on the CCIW Network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care. From general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Start of the second quarter in Bloomington. Illinois Wesleyan with a 17-13 advantage. Brittany, they may need to rely on some of the keys to the game to try and pull away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, credit to the Vikings. They've made it a little bit difficult on the offensive end for the Titans, and then they're not able to get into their run and jump. And then conversely, they're doing a really good job on the offensive end of using the shot clock, not letting the game get out of control and up and down, in which a game they do not want to be a part of.
Titans led by 8 at the under 5. North Park outscoring the Titans by 4 in the second half of the first quarter. Illinois Wesleyan's leading scorer today, Caitlin Layden, is back in. Inbound pass taken by Sarah Bali. Couldn't close the deal.
Yeah, making it really difficult, though, for them to get the ball in bounds, which will pay dividends here.
Another miss, this time by Kaskovich.
Yeah, Kaskovich will want that one back, wide open, a good give and go there.
Layden to White, who thought about it. Bardic, senior captain, is still scoreless today. North Park gets the basketball.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where you didn't call the foul, so you're going to give them the basketball, because it certainly looked like it was out on North Park.
They can take a look at this if they choose, and it looks like Maya Smith will gesture the officiating crew to the table. And while they look at that, we started to talk about this before the under 5, but this Titan team over the first part of the year was a little bit different. Last year, they could rely on one player going off and taking control of the game while everybody else sort of sat back and performed as they did. This year, it's a much more collective team effort, but we've seen over the last 3 games, they can have a Sawyer White game, and they have a Bardic game. We're starting to see a possible Caitlin Layden game. this afternoon, so that individualized attention, which will help the Titans a lot in the postseason, is starting to take part.
Yeah, I think, outside of Ava Bardick, this team didn't have necessarily a second, third, fourth scorer that you knew was going to show up. And so I think what you're seeing is they're getting more comfortable in their roles, and then they're starting to really produce in that. And certainly I think all of those starters have that ability to kind of have one of those games.
Both teams scoreless in the early stages of the second 10. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Titans try to remain perfect in league play. North Park seeks their first conference win in over a year's time. They're reviewing a ball out of bounds on the baseline. The original call was out against the Titans, so it would be North Park basketball should the call stand or be confirmed.
Yeah, it's like I said, Matt, one of those where I think it was probably out on North Park, but it looked like maybe a foul. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what is the call here.
Based on that angle, we'll have to see what the officials decide. Take a look at it once again.
And it is nice that, as coaches, you do have the ability this year in women's basketball to challenge. Now, if you lose the challenge, you lose a timeout. But, if the call is successful, then, you retain your timeout and nothing happens.
Get the verdict, and based off of the body language from Maya Smith, that's a successful challenge.
After review.
Yeah, the advantage there of Maya Smith is I think, the call was pretty obvious that it was out. It was just one of those where I think a foul could have been called as well, but luckily Titans retain possession.
White from the corner, in and out, tapped out of bounds. This time it goes North Park's way.
Yeah, and just, a good look from Sawyer White there. She's aggressive. They've had a couple in and out, and I think it's like Coach Ersman said, they do have good shooters on this team, and certainly they're going to keep shooting, and hopefully the percentage reflect that.
Titans 0 for 5 from behind the three-point line. Bali with another takeaway. Bardick had it if she wanted it. Drives past and has her first bucket of the day.
Yeah, good drive there by Ava Bardick after turning down the open three earlier in that possession.
Bardick averages nearly 19 points a game. Hirschberger, no answer.
The Vikings are doing a good job getting to the middle of the floor, though, and breaking that pressure. And they've had some looks at the rim. They just need those to fall for them.
White into Kobalarchak. She's on the board.
Yeah, a great roll of Kobalarchak there. Nice feed from Sawyer White.
Sawyer White.
Kaskovich in some trouble. Overpass finds Caroline Long.
Yeah, good job there by Long to recover that basketball and kind of settle them in here into a set into the half court.
Titans did a good job against sets against Carroll last week. Forced yet another turnover. It's Bardick, rebounded by Kobalarchak. Tussle underneath. Jump ball.
Good follow there by Kobalarchak to keep the ball alive in the possession for the Titans. The Vikings are trying to get into that pinch post action, and the Titans are kind of overplaying that. So something to be aware of the Vikings on the offensive side.
Titans force 8 turnovers in the opening quarter. Bardick tees it up. Bullseye.
Yeah, great flare screen on the backside on the out of bounds there. A little mishandle on the pass, but Bardick able to secure it and knock down that three.
Bardick with 5 of Illinois Wesleyan's 7 points in the second quarter. White with another steal. Wanted Bali, who goes behind the back. Layden puts it in. Timeout, Vikings.
Timeout on the floor. Charge to North Park.
The pressure there and the live ball turnover is just really getting to the Vikings, and you're seeing the Titans capitalize on that on the offensive end.
Illinois Wesleyan outscoring North Park 9-0 in the second quarter. Back in a moment on the CCIW Network.
What is proven science? At Just Thrive, it's about best-in-class clinical research. It's about supplements that empower users to control their health. These are the elements that make up the foundation of Just Thrive. Our proven, clinically backed, proprietary probiotic removes the guesswork from supplement selection because we've done the work for you to ensure that you're getting the best product possible, empowering you to take back control of your health from a leader in the digestive, immune, and emotional health spaces.
Just Thrive Health, founded by Illinois Wesleyan baseball alum Billy Anderson and his wife Tina, proud parents of former Titan athletes Nina and Marco Anderson. Just Thrive, it takes guts to be healthy. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Saturday action in the CCIW. Illinois Wesleyan looks to remain perfect. North Park goes for their first conference win of the year. So far in quarter number 2, it's been all green and white.
Yeah, Titans have just jumped out, been super aggressive on the defensive side of things, causing turnovers and allowing them to have the run-outs. And so if you're the Vikings, you have to look here to get the ball in bounds. They've struggled to do that and then get a really high-quality shot here in the front court.
So far, it's 9-0 Illinois Wesleyan in the first 2.5 minutes of the second, a quarter that mirrored the third of last week's win over Carroll. Hirschberger loses it out of bounds, and even though Sawyer White won't get credit for the steal there, that's an unearned steal, as one would say, for Sawyer White.
Yeah, just the menace that Sawyer White is on the defensive side, and Hirschberger just couldn't quite get with it.
Kobalarczyk off the mark, Long with another rebound. Gets it past to Kaskovich. Finds Bowen on the back door, who gets the layup. First points for North Park in the second.
Yeah, a really good drive there by Bowen.
Kobalarczyk with the response.
And that's what you can't do if you're the Vikings. They kind of took that half-second breath, and the the Titans are coming right back at them.
Another turnover. Sarah Bali will head to the line.
Vikings foul charge, number 12, Catherine Keene, her first personal.
It's on Catherine Keene, her first.
Sarah Bali at the line for the Titans, shooting 2.
And you can see in a game where you don't have a deep bench and it's starting to get up and down and the turnovers are, piling up for the Vikings, they're getting a little tired and fatigued. And so, again, it's really important when they get into the half court that they're using the entire shot clock, getting a really good quality shot.
Bali 24 of 35 on the year, including that miss. 0 for 2, but it trickles out.
That's really frustrating as a coach is free throw misses and then the offensive rebound.
Another miss by the Titans, but a third chance opportunity as it bowling balls to Kobalarczyk, but eventually it's taken aback by Kaskovich. Long, who already has one made 3 today, buzzer beater to end the first quarter. She was 0 for 3 prior to that. Kaskovich on the C-turn, off her knee, affected by White, Titan basketball.
Yeah, the Vikings had a good look there. They came off that rub and then just couldn't quite, corral it at the rim there.
Rena Robinson back to the scorer's table. Bardick got the screen from Layden.
Yeah, Bowen did a good job of stopping her off the ball screen there, and then they took care of the roll as well. So, the initial action was guarded very well by the Vikings.
Travel called against the Titans. Robinson checks in for Bardick. With the Titans up by 13, you're coming off a bye, so you want to get action for as many players as possible, but you also have to think about the back end of this. Your next bye is not until Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and so it's, kind of that fine line of you want to get everyone back into game speed, but you also have to make sure, you're taking care of business.
Way offline from Hirschberger.
Yeah, Titans challenged that one really well.
Robinson, book it.
Yeah, really good look there. Sawyer White, nice little pitch and catch there. Rena Robinson, a good basket.
Her first bucket of the calendar year. Long in some trouble. Another turnover for North Park.
Yeah, Long just tried to do a little bit too much there off the bounce. Couldn't quite get through the gap and loses it out of bounds. And, at least it was not a live ball turnover, so the Vikings can come down and set up their defense.
Titans have one player in double figures so far. That's Caitlin Layden with 10 points. It's the 8th time she's accomplished that this year. Make it 12 for the freshman.
Yeah, great slip off the screen there and a nice finish by Caitlin Layden.
Morrissey with the answer. She's the first Viking to hit 10 points.
Yeah, she's having a nice afternoon, really aggressive on the offensive end and a nice shot.
Turnover by the Titans. White must have towed the sideline.
Yeah, we couldn't quite see what happened there. It looked like right in front of the coach. So, but White was trying to go behind that and just stepped out of bounds.
Inside to Long. Hirschberger with 7 to shoot. Keene off the rim, but nonetheless, the Titans come away with the rebound.
Yeah, Bowen tried to get in there for the offensive rebound, just couldn't quite grab it. Robinson pushing it down the other way.
Bali. Second go, Layden for 14, yes.
Yeah, great rebound of her own shot by Sarah Bali and, finds a wide open Caitlin Layden.
Layden's career high is 18 against North Central. And with the Titans up by nearly 20, it may seem that Layden's only obstacle would be the clock.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting, but again, off the bye, you can't really simulate the game action, so, how much they'll play will be interesting to watch here.
Long can't beat the buzzer, especially for these freshmen going through the CCIW schedule for the first time. Layden to Robinson. Can't stick it.
Really happy with that shot, though. If you're the Titans, you drove it, you got a paint touch, you drew the defense in, and Robinson wide open at the three-point line, who had already knocked one down.
Stay tuned for halftime coverage. We'll be joined by All-American Adriana Crabtree of the Titan Cross Country and Track and Field team, as she's recognized for her fall accomplishments. Sarah Bali.
Yeah, and you can see both teams are very fatigued right now. It's kind of, you just got to persevere here over the next 2.5 to get to halftime and kind of get your legs back under.
Maya Smith has 4 bodies at the scorer's table at the next dead ball. Nearly taken away by White. 5 to shoot. Keene. A foul called against Sarah Bali.
Yeah, Keene wasn't going to be denied there. Just kind of put her head down, tried to make something happen. And, credit to her because she got herself to the free throw line and knew her team needed kind of a breather here. And that's what you do when you get yourself to the free throw line. Everyone can kind of collect themselves.
Keene, a 71% free throw shooter, 30 of 42 on the year. Junior out of Mount Prospect, Illinois, went to Prospect High School. A lot of North Suburban products in this contest for both teams. Checking into the game for the Titans in her first collegiate action, Lucy Hines. Freshman out of Homer Glen, missed the first part of the season with a leg injury. One of the more exciting recruits for Maya Smith's squad, played for Team Ireland on the U20 team in the World Cup.
Yeah, nice to see her back out here for the Titans, and a good game to get her kind of introduced here.
Lucy Hines, rebounded by Palmer, who gets her first field goal in Titan green.
Yeah, a good rebound there by Palmer and a nice finish. I'm sure she's very relieved to have her first bucket as a Titan.
Long with the travel.
Traveling violation, possession for the Titans. Nia Gladney for the Vikings.
Nia Gladney checks in for North Park, the freshman out of Taylor, Michigan.
An important stretch here for the Vikings. I know they're down 18, but you kind of want to keep this at that margin before you get into halftime.
Bardick. North Park with an opportunity over the last minute, similar to what they did in the first quarter. Try and cut into this margin. It's been almost all Titans in the second 10, taken by Robinson. Hines keeps it afloat, 3-on-1. Palmer. Kobalarchuk with the second chance, has a wide open lane. Hines a third opportunity.
Yeah, great job on the glass there by the Titans.
Kobalarchuk in and out. Illinois Wesleyan 0 for 3 on that trip.
Yeah, and if you're the Vikings, you want to pull this out here for one shot.
For 3, Morrissey. Now the Titans can hang on for the last look if they choose. Bardick overshoots Hines. Tried to throw it off a North Park player, but finds Palmer, who can't finish the layup. And at this point, the intermission may be a solution for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bardick with the interception. They call a jump ball.
And you can just see there's a lot of tired legs out here, a lot of young bodies for the Titans. And that last minute and a half was really just that tired bodies, inexperience, and it went up and down, and kind of no baskets are falling on either end.
Eight and change left in the quarter. Hirschberger for 3. Rebound by Palmer with 4. 2 seconds. Palmer. And that's how the first half ends. But Illinois Wesleyan with a 20-point period. But more importantly, on the defensive side, only giving up 6 points to North Park. We head to halftime. Titans up big on the CCIW Network.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
After winning 4 events this season, including the conference championship in school record passing, last week made 17th place in the national race. Her first team All-American finish was the best in program history. Congratulations to Adriana Crabtree. And for the rest of halftime, we turn to the world's most dangerous pep band, the Titan Pep Band.
But doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
At halftime, Illinois Wesleyan with a 37-19 lead against North Park. I'm Matt Sosler alongside cross-country All-American Adriana Crabtree being recognized at halftime. Adriana, congratulations. How's it feel to be recognized as an All-American here at Illinois Wesleyan?
It's an honor. I'm just, it's really happy to, or really great just to see everyone out here cheering me on and yeah.
You got the honor in cross country this year. You were track in years past. What's it like to be an All-American and do two different sports?
It's definitely really cool to be able to say that I'm a multi-sport athlete. I think a lot of us that do cross country and track, it is so different. And so being able to say that we were successful in two different areas is really cool.
Not only an All-American in different sports, but you're a second-generation All-American in the Crabtree family. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's cool to carry on the legacy at Wesleyan, for sure. Yeah.
What are your goals? You got another track season coming up as you close out your time here at Illinois Wesleyan. What are your goals for the winter and then the spring?
I mean, I'm just really hoping that I can give it all I got for the last little bit. I mean, hopefully All-Americans still out there for indoor and outdoor, so we'll see.
Before I let you go, we're going to recognize teammate and national champion Imani Osorino at halftime of the men's game. How does that reflect the strength of Titan track race?
Good? Okay, sorry. Can you re-ask the question? So sorry.
We're recognizing Imani at halftime of the men's game. How does that reflect the track and field program here at Ivy?
Oh, Imani's amazing. I love her. She is so hardworking, so dedicated, deserved it so much. She's an amazing athlete, an amazing person, and I think it'll be really cool to have all these people out here to recognize her.
It's a track and field celebration at the Shirk Center. Halftime resumes. Titan women's basketball up 37-19 on the CCIW Network.
but doing it the right way and being good citizens.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive
Halftime at the Shirk Center, Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. The Titans with a dominant second quarter, outscoring North Park 20-6. Brittany, that second quarter was much needed for Illinois Wesleyan after a tighter first period.
Yeah, they got, into what they're really good at, and that's turning, the opposition over, forced 11 North Park turnovers, and they were able to capitalize at the rim. Saw some three-point shots go down, and then, that's kind of when it snowballs for the opponent when the Titans are doing what they're really good at, and they're running jump and making threes.
It's the fewest points allowed in a quarter. They gave up 7 to North Central in the third quarter back on December the 6th. A look at some of the leaders for Illinois Wesleyan. Caitlin Layden, just 4 off of her career high. Mentioned that North Central game. She had 18 up in the western suburbs. She sits at 14. The only Titan in double figures, but Brittany, that seems to be a trend when the Titans play the Vikings. It's not one player, it's everybody. Last year they had 11 scorers at the Shirk Center against North Park, and based on how this game is going, they may even beat that this afternoon.
Yeah, outside of Caitlin Layden, everyone else is kind of sprinkled in there between 3 and 5, and doing a good job of distributing the basketball. And what's really good about Caitlin Layden, it's a really efficient 14 points, 7 of 8 from the floor, taking really high quality shots.
8 scorers for the Titans at the half. For North Park, leading the way is Teresa Morrissey, who was a spark plug in that first quarter, had a couple of buckets in the second period, but the Titans did a good job of being sure the basketball avoided her.
Yeah, I thought she was really aggressive early, knocked down a 3, had some other shots that were really good. And I think for the Vikings, they've got to find ways in the half court to get Caroline Long a lot more touches. I think she's good around the rim. It's just giving her the ball in a space where she can attack and make something happen positive for the Vikings.
Long with just 5 points for North Park, 3 of them coming on the buzzer beater to end the first quarter. And the Titans lead 37-19. Second half action when we come back on the CCIW Network. Plus, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on a busy day in the CCIW.
They say every challenge holds an opportunity. At Illinois Wesleyan, you've got the power to seize it. Here you'll find the tools, mentors, and real-world experiences to take on any challenge and become the person you're meant to be. The best college in Illinois for landing a job? You're looking at it.
Tap or click now to start your free application
and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
At NCAA championships, noise is made here. Memories are made here. Champions win here. The only thing missing here is you. The NCAA Division III Women's Volleyball Championship, coming to Bloomington, Illinois this December. Get your seats at ncaa.com/tickets.
When it comes to lunch, one thing that makes it great is variety. Biaggi's lunch menu is packed with variety, from a selection of freshly tossed salads and specialty sandwiches to the popular lunch and half an app. Half that includes the choice of 2 items, a soup, a salad, a half pizza, or a half sandwich. Lunch at Biaggi's is always fresh, it's fast, and definitely filling. Enjoy lunch at Biaggi's today, open daily at 11 a.m. at 3010 East Empire Street. To view menus or place an order for curbside pickup, visit www.biaggi's.com. Welcome to Titan Table Talk, the podcast that takes you inside Illinois Wesleyan athletics. Each week, I sit down with Titan coaches and student athletes to share their stories, analysis, and insights on what it means to be a Titan.
Really love each other and want to support each other.
We just have a really strong family component.
Tune in to Titan Table Talk on YouTube, IWUsports.com, and 88.1 WESN every Monday at 7 p.m. Back at the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Let's take a look at some scores from around the conference. Second place Carroll up by 10 over Milliken with a couple minutes gone in the third quarter. What's expected to be one of the tighter games in league play. Elmhurst takes on Augustana. We'll get you that score in just a moment. But the basketball battle for the Little Brass Bell, North Central with a 33-25 lead over Wheaton, 8:48 left in the third quarter at Gregory Arena. Brittany, we're starting to get to that point in the CCIW where we look ahead not only to the second rotation around the conference, but where teams could be headed when we reach late February.
Yeah, you're getting to the exciting part of conference play where the standings matter, and you're kind of looking to see who's going to be in position, when you get into postseason. But again, every game matters, and that's what's really great about conference play.
At half, Elmhurst 29, Augustana 26. Titans start with the basketball. It's Ava Bartik who's fouled on her way up.
Yeah, great action there. A little Iverson to the back door. A good feed from the, strong side elbow there.
First team foul of the quarter. Ava Bartik at the line for the Titans.
Bartik, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, shooting 84.6% entering today. Going back to that Augustana-Elmhurst game, those two teams likely in contention for that 3 seed, which would host a quarterfinal.
Yeah, and always important when you're playing to, potentially host a game in the conference tournament. And, sometimes you don't think about those games in the moment, but they definitely matter at the end.
The winner of that game would also put themselves on the doorstep of a potential bye on the 2 seed, depending on what happens with Carroll. Titans still perfect in conference play, so right now they have some breathing room. Long goes behind the back, but Kaskovich runs into a pair of white jerseys, but gets bailed out with a foul.
Yeah, a loose ball there, just kind of, was bouncing around, and the Vikings able to secure it and luckily get the foul on the Titans.
First foul on Kobalarchak. We haven't seen a ton of fouls on the Titans side. That's just their third personal. 2 on Bali, 1 on Kobalarchak.
Yeah, they've done a great job of guarding without fouling on the defensive end, applying the pressure without really, putting them at the line.
Long gets it back after she coughed it up. She's got 7 points. Bali with the spin around, denied by Morrissey.
Yeah, it was a great drive by Bali, a good rondo, probably to throw back there instead of the shot since the defense didn't move, but you like the aggression to get downhill there.
Morrissey's 7th block on the year. She's second on the Vikings in that stat. White with the takeaway. Finds Bartik, who's blocked again by Morrissey.
Yeah, Morrissey has long arms, and you're seeing she's able to, get out there and really affect some shots for the Titans.
It's a rare occasion that you have the same player against Illinois Wesleyan register a block on back-to-back trips.
Titans lineup.
White with 6 steals, back-to-back games where she's had 5 or more. Layden, Titans leading scorer, unable to connect.
Yeah, Sawyer doing a great job of being in the passing lanes, applying the pressure, getting those on-ball steals as well.
Morrissey following her pair of blocks. Tees it up. Way short. Bowen gets positioning. White was, let's see how they charge that. I think it should be steal number 7. I don't know if she had possession or not before her toe hit the sideline.
Doesn't look like they're going to say that, but it was close.
As time expires, rebounded by Palmer, so there's your answer. Given that the shot clock didn't reset, White goes to Layden, who has 16.
Really good pass there from Sawyer White to a running Caton Layden, and that's been kind of the downfall for the Vikings today, is just getting back in transition and matching up.
That's 7 assists for White.
I think that's what you're kind of seeing, the evolution of her game is not only is it obviously the offensive, but the passing. Obviously what's always been there is her defense.
Bowen off the mark. Sawyer's got some work to do in the scoring column, but dare I mention the words triple-double.
Yeah, certainly on pace there if she can get some buckets to go down.
That'll help. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals.
Yeah, just really, putting her fingers all over, the box score today for the Titans.
Morrissey on Palmer. Layden with the snare.
Good drive there by Morrissey, though. You have to like the aggression that you saw.
For double digits. Layden second chance. Third opportunity. Palmer puts it in.
And that's one thing we really haven't mentioned today, but it's been the offensive rebounding for the Titans as well. They've been all over the glass.
Timeout on the floor. The Titans start the third by stuffing the stat sheet. More on that when we come back on the CCIW Network. (46-21). The top-placed Titans against the last-placed Vikings in the CCIW. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Illinois Wesleyan outscoring North Park 20-6 in the second, 9-2 so far in the third. Then once again against the Vikings, it's the balance, not only in the scoring column, but in rebounds, assists, and steals for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, you're just seeing the depth and the pace of this game, really take over in terms of, what the Vikings have. We already talked about, they only have 9 dressed today, and they just don't have that depth to, kind of go up and down with this Titan squad.
And Ava Couture on the floor for the Vikings.
Not only that, but going on the road.
Yeah, all challenges, and we talked about having, a good first quarter for this Vikings team, which they did. It's just after that, it's just kind of, the pace and everything else got to this team.
Gladney in some trouble. Long, about 50 feet from where she should be. White with the strip. Layden in a wrestling match. Jump ball. Possession North Park.
Yeah, Titans all over the basketball, just really overplaying the passing lanes, making it really difficult for the Vikings to even initiate anything on the offensive end.
And not only that, but Caroline Long, who was a mainstay in the post in the first quarter, we talk about denial of entry. It's typically for the basketball, not for the player.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's made it really difficult on the offensive end.
Palmer with the snatch. White steps through.
Great finish in traffic there by Sawyer White. Goes to the left hand. And it does look like Catherine Keene is out for the Vikings for the rest of the game as well. So another blow to this already short bench for the Vikings.
As it stands right now, there's only 3 Vikings on the bench that are available. Foul trouble, not an issue nor concern at this point. Layden with the rejection.
Yeah, and that makes it really difficult, Matt, when you're playing a team like the Titans to go up and down when you're already shorthanded like that.
Palmer with 7. It's a season high for her.
Yeah, and I really love that decision by Rena Robinson there. She kind of shot faked the 3, saw Palmer come across the lane wide open and fed her the basketball in stride and made a nice move, did Palmer.
Illinois Wesleyan continues to grow its largest lead on the step through, sits up and down from Layla Murray, the freshman out of Beloit.
Yeah, hard aggressive drive there by Layla Murray to kind of break the drought here for the Vikings and get them on the board.
Breaks up a 4-minute scoring drought for North Park. White for double figures. Palmer with the second chance. She's got 9.
Yeah, Long couldn't quite secure that rebound. You know, credit Alyssa Ebbs for fighting, making it difficult for Long, and then it tipped right into Palmer at the rim.
This could be a monumental game for Leah Palmer. We mentioned it earlier, but the Titan system, no matter who you are, is one of the most difficult to learn. And Palmer not only getting some valuable minutes, but valuable production today for somebody who, in the long run, is expected to play a big role for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, absolutely. A game like this, kind of settles you in, gets you more comfortable with what's being asked. And, just to actually see the basketball go in has to be a sigh of relief for her.
Sawyer White will head to the line. Palmer played her first game down in Florida. So 2 games down there, the Carroll game. This is just her 4th game in a Titan jersey. But in the prior 3, really in the Florida trip, as we get a timeout call. We'll keep it here. In the Florida trip, it was sparse minutes. A couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. We saw that workload increase against Carroll, mainly because Aja Kovalarczyk got shaken up in the first couple of minutes, which forced Maya Smith's hand to go to the bench early. But today, she's really getting the looks and the opportunities, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays a role in the year going forward.
Yeah, and I think, the more comfortable she gets, you're going to see more production. Obviously super familiar with her sister being, a 4-year player in this program. But like you said, it is a little different once you're being kind of thrown to the fire and figuring it out on the run. Whereas, the entire team has had, 2-3 months to be caught up to speed. But just an incredibly valuable piece that's going to be coming off the bench for this team that can score, and to have that other kind of punch off the bench is going to be important.
And one other narrative that goes by the wayside is time playing competitive basketball. A lot of people don't realize that for Palmer, you can make the argument that it's been a couple of years since she's played consistent competitive basketball. You could say the same about Caitlin Layden at the start of the year. You could say the same about Lucy Hines from her time against Illinois State a couple of months ago until now. That can play a huge factor in how strong you are in your return as Sawyer White hits double digits yet again.
Absolutely. Practice can only give you so much. It's once the game and the lights really come on where you kind of find your edge and get that back under you, because it is very different just to be in practice every day. The game experience matters.
12th time in double figures for Sawyer White this year. She's got 11. Second Titan in double figures today. Joining Caitlin Layden. More action on the floor. Another jump ball.
Titan basketball.
And that's Titan basketball.
Several times today in the half court, you've just seen North Park not really able to handle the basketball. And so it's not necessarily anything the Titans are doing. They're there applying pressure, but just really loose with the basketball. And so I think when they go back and they rewatch this, they're going to kind of kick themselves because there's things that they could control.
Senior out of St. Joseph, Peyton Jacob checks in. Robinson wanted Lippick. Just a little too strong.
Possession stays with the Titans.
Yeah, that was one where Robinson probably could have just rose up and shot that ball. A really great drive. I like the ball movement the Titans have had. It's going side to side, making it difficult on the Vikings defense.
Epps. Rebounded by Bowen. We'll have to see how Maya Smith manages her bench from here on out. With 13 minutes to work with, Morrissey. Murray with the rebound. Ava Kocher, a freshman out of Leesburg, Indiana. It's in the northwest corner of the state near Syracuse, which is just down the road from Fort Wayne. A big resort area around Lake Wawasee. Morrissey with the three, offline.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, just a real stagnant possession there for the Vikings. No one really driving it down, creating, a defender to help and some easy pitch outs. They got to try to get some paint touches on that end.
Kocher, one of 3 Vikings from the Hoosier State, joining Long and Hirschberger. Lippick down low.
Great high-low there.
Rebounded by Bowen.
Really good offensive possession there for the Titans, everything but the basket, but you have to be happy with the look.
Taken away by Jacob. And in a game like this, we get to see something that makes this Titan program great, where you see the rotation players, as Epps puts it in, the rotation players get to support the players who work their tails off in practice all week.
Yeah, absolutely. They're oftentimes the behind the scenes, but they really are what make, the Titans as good as they are, because they show up every day and they get this team better. And so it's always nice when you get to see them and be rewarded for that on the basketball court.
Luigi Lamb takes a knee at the scorer's bench, and these practices are not easy by any means.
Right. When you play the way the Titans do, it's up and down. There's a lot that's asked of you. And so, again, when you're able to actually get into the game and see that rewarded, you're very happy for these young women.
Titans with their largest lead of 31 points. Long with the spin around. Hits the deck hard. Call that foul on Alyssa Epps.
Yeah, really nice spin move there from Long. Didn't finish, but stuck with it, and Epps come over, trying to get the rebound and just got a little bit too much along there.
Illinois Wesleyan potentially on the verge of some history, depending on how the rest of this game goes, only giving up 25 points so far. On the drive, nothing there from Gladney, but another foul underneath.
Second foul charge to number 21, her second personal.
Second foul on Epps, and Caroline Long, the do-it-everything player for North Park, has had a tough trip on this end of the floor.
Yeah, really aggressive drives, and she hasn't finished or, crashing the glass, and a couple times just came in late, did the defense and fouled her, but you have to credit her for still competing really hard on both ends of the basketball court.
We'll take 30 seconds, back in a moment on the CCIW Network. Welcome to Titan Table Talk, the podcast that takes you inside Illinois Wesleyan athletics. Each week, I sit down with Titan coaches and student athletes to share their stories, analysis, and insights on what it means to be a Titan.
Really love each other and want to support each other.
We just have a really strong family component.
Tune in to Titan Table Talk on YouTube, IWUsports.com, and 88.1 WESN every Monday at 7 p.m. Back in Bloomington, following that injury timeout, Caroline Long injured for North Park. Shea Bowen takes her place, a Viking squad that is already thin as it is entering this contest. See Kaden King enter for the first time for Illinois Wesleyan. Luigi Lamb, the sophomore out of Hong Kong, with the spin around.
Yeah, great rebound there by Luigi Lamb and gets herself on the board. So the largest lead for Illinois Wesleyan continues to grow.
North Park hasn't scored in the last 4 minutes. Here's Morrissey in and out, rebounded by Kaden King.
Yeah, good look there by Morrissey, just in and out, but, it didn't fall, and Titans aggressive on the other end here.
King Lippick with the finish. Shot clock off for the Vikings. Illinois Wesleyan, if North Park doesn't score here, there'll be another 6-point quarter against this Titan defense, and it looks like that'll be the case as Jacob takes it away. Epps beats the buzzer and extends the lead. 25-6, our third quarter, and Illinois Wesleyan takes a 62-25 lead into the final 10 or regulation on the CCIW network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
We didn't just want to add strains, we wanted to add results. So at Just Thrive, we were very specific about finding strains that work synergistically to improve the overall microbiome in a way that you could feel it. For example, reducing bloating, improving the immune response, improving digestion, working on leaky gut. These are all things you will feel when you start to use a product that is formulated in a synergistic way. Try the Just Thrive probiotic and antioxidant and see how microbial synergy.
Just Thrive Health, founded with deep Titan athletics connections by Illinois Wesleyan baseball alum Billy Anderson and his wife Tina, proud parents of Titan basketball alumni Nina and Marco. Just Thrive Health, where Titan traditions thrive. Titans up 62-25, what should be en route to their 5th CCIW win on the year. Remain a perfect 5-0 in conference. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper. Coach Smith doing something that she hasn't done a lot in her 28-year career, and that is go exclusively with her bench to begin a given quarter, no matter the score.
Yeah, I think some of that is just with so many new faces, you have so much inexperience, and again, like we said, there's really nothing like game experience.
Liv Myers with her second rebound on the trip and the score.
Yeah, great rebound there. A couple really good drives there by Caden King that just haven't fallen, but credit to the Titans to stay with it and get those offensive rebounds.
Myers, the junior out of Elmwood Park. And looking at the court, this is the first time this year that every single class on this Titan squad is represented. Got Ashley Malum and Caden King, the two freshmen, Luigi Lamb, the sophomore, Liv Myers, the junior, Peyton Jacob, the senior.
Yeah, you don't see it often, but, it's always fun when it does happen. I think if you're the Vikings here, too, you got to keep running, trying to work on, things that are going to help you down the road here because you still have a lot of conference games to play.
Brittany, how do you balance that? Caroline Long is still getting worked on in the tunnel by athletic trainer Jenna Gosselin. Jacob with the three. How do you balance that? You want to keep running your sets. You want to keep playing aggressive, getting into those battles on the court, but also given that you're down to, on this trip, really 7 active, you may get some reinforcements in your next contest, but how do you draw that balance of just trying to stay healthy into the rest of conference play?
Yeah, I think the thing about sports is you can't ever really control the injury front, but, like we've said, this Vikings team isn't deep, and so for some of these players, they're getting the minutes that they maybe don't see on a nightly basis or, even most games, and so any kind of game time you can get will be beneficial for this Viking team.
Illinois Wesleyan with a media timeout. With that, we'll take this opportunity. We already recognized Adriana Crabtree and heard from her on our halftime show. It's a Saturday at Shirk, and for those of you who are thinking about making a trip to the arena at some point this year, for almost every single basketball game, not only on a Saturday, but Wednesdays as well. We're going to celebrate the proud tradition of Titan Athletics with halftime recognitions. Last Wednesday for the men's game against Augustana, we recognized this year's men's soccer team who made the first round of the NCAA tournament, finished with a program record 13 wins. Today we celebrate track and field. Adriana went on at halftime, and then national champion Imanio Gunrabito will be recognized at halftime of the men's game. In addition to that, there's a recognition that all the viewers of the Titan Broadcast Network will appreciate in between the women's game and the men's game. Longtime voices of Titan men's basketball, Eric Stock and Joel Swanson, will be celebrated for their 20 years behind the mic of Titan men's basketball. Certainly a well-deserved achievement for both of them, going 20 years strong. So we're going to recognize those two at the conclusion of the women's game before the Titan men take on North Park.
Yeah, always fun to recognize, people for their accomplishments, and especially, sometimes, like you said, the voices behind who don't always get that recognition, but provide fans a lot of content.
I'll have to ask Eric what number it is for Titan Athletics for him.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
20 years, mainly two sports. Went through the hands of Lucy Hines, so North Park takes over. Titan women's volleyball will also be recognized later in the year for their run to the Sweet 16. Second straight year that they've done that. Three from the corner from Kocher. She knocks it down.
Yeah, she's had a couple nice shots, and for Kocher to see that go down, very welcomed for this Vikings team.
1 of 4 from three-point land entering today. We harped on a lot about some of these players getting valuable in-game reps. One thing I'm starting to see is Rena Robinson taking after Sawyer White a bit. Corner three off the mark. Robinson with the rebound, just on how she plays defense at the top of the key.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just really aggressive, pressuring the basketball, making those ball handlers a little indecisive. And, when I first came to their practice back in the fall, it was a kid who I think was, going to make an impact. And I think her growth over the last, I would definitely say like 3 or 4 weeks has made this team a lot better.
5 points on the day for Robinson. 11 scores for Illinois Wesleyan. That matches their mark last year against North Park. Jacob, King, Malum, and Hines have yet to score. And almost all of them are on the court as we speak. Hines, nearly her first collegiate field goal. Palmer with the rebound, out of bounds.
Yeah, really good pass there up ahead to Hines, just a little bit out in front of her, which made the shot difficult, but you still like that they're pushing, giving themselves opportunities on that end.
Timeout called by Maya Smith with 6:12 remaining. There's only a couple Titans in their huddle, still with their warm-ups on. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this game, all of them have their warm-ups taken off. This game has been a true showcase of this team's depth.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of that is with some still with warm-ups. It's about how long they can be out on the basketball court. When you're not playing in the game, sometimes, you get winded a little bit quicker. And so you want to have to manage that as well.
The Titans already had their bye. That was last Wednesday. Their Saturday bye will be on Valentine's Day. So they'll have the Wednesday, Saturday schedule for the next few weeks. And it's not easy for Maya Smith's squad. They have a bit of a home stretch with Carroll last Saturday. They're home today. And then home on Wednesday against Milliken. But then they have one of the toughest travel slates that the CCIW can offer in basketball. 2 trips to Wisconsin as Malum gets called for the charge. They'll head to Wheaton on Saturday, a week from today. Then they'll head up north to the lone building that they lost in last year in conference play, Tarbell Arena up in Kenosha, to visit, Brittany, your former stomping grounds, Carthage. That'll be a week and change from now. Then they'll head back to Bloomington to head back up to Waukesha to take on Carroll a couple of weeks out from today.
Yeah, certainly a lot of travel in there. And for a team that has some experience, but primarily plays a lot of, freshmen that haven't been in those moments, it's going to be a really interesting test for this Titan squad.
That all sets up a home-heavy February for Illinois Wesleyan. Home almost every day of play once the calendar turns.
Right, and that's nice because, as we know, once you get into February, you're closer to postseason, and you're trying to secure those opportunities as well, and we know how well this team plays at home.
Bowen with a couple of free throws. Taking a look at the schedule, the only time the Titans will be away from the Shirk Center in February is when they take on these North Park Vikings February the 4th on the north side of Chicago. Lamb for three, bullseye.
Yeah, great catch and shoot there by Luigi Lamb. Just squared that up and knocked it down with confidence.
Outside of that, it's 4 straight at home for the Titans, potentially 5, maybe 6. And if Illinois Wesleyan had a crystal ball and a magic wand, it could be potentially 9 at home to end the year. Malum off the glass and down.
Right, and that's what this team wants. And so, you have to kind of weather that storm of the road games, but then on the back end you're rewarded.
Rebounded by Liv Myers. Fewest points allowed in a game for Illinois Wesleyan would be 32. Caden King going the other way. Out to King again. The Titans continue to roll. If this score holds at 36 points, the last time they gave up less than 36, you have to go back to 2019-2020 against Rose Holman when they allowed 34.
Yeah, and that would be, quite a feat on the defensive end for this team.
Bowen, too much, rebounded by Myers. King with a move, but just couldn't finish.
Yeah, great behind the back there. Like you said, a really good move, just didn't finish everything but the basket there. But if you're the Titans, you have to be happy they're still pushing the basketball and doing what makes this team and program really good.
Morrissey, rebounded by Jacob. No Vikings in double figures today. Malum kept alive. Lamb's favorite look. Morrissey with the rebound. We get a timeout by North Park with 3 minutes left. Back in 30 seconds on the CCIW Network. Back in Bloomington, 3 minutes left in this one. Illinois Wesleyan in cruise control, up 73-36. Matt Sossler alongside Brittany Carper for the Titans. They will take on Milliken at home on Wednesday for North Park. They'll head back up to the Chicagoland area for a date against Elmhurst as soon as they're done here. Strong second and third quarters for Illinois Wesleyan. allowing them to get a big advantage. Hines to Lamb for 2.
Yeah, good look there from Hines to Lamb, who was out and running. Good job in the lane by the Titans to not foul on the drive there by Morrissey.
A lot of firsts and milestones so far in this game. Luigi Lamb's career high is 8. This could be Lucy Hines' first collegiate field goal, and it is.
Yeah, good job by Lucy Hines to play the passing lane there. And, the unfortunate thing for the Vikings is the Titans that are out there are still going to play the way the Titans play. And so you still have to take care of the basketball. They're not going to take it easy just because the score is what it is.
Ball eventually finds Ashley Malum. Luigi Lamb's one off of her career high. So any field goal would get her above that. She's hit 8 multiple times, including against these Vikings last year. Leah Palmer, who already has a career high offensive foul called against Palmer.
Yeah, good shot fake there by Palmer, but just a dribble too deep into the lane, and the Viking defender was there to take the charge, which was a good job to step in.
Going down the scoring line here, Kaden King has matched her very young career high, I should say. That's the other thing, given that this team has 9 freshmen. Means that it's a little bit easier for milestones to be eclipsed. Count it in 1
The basket for the Vikings, number 1.
for Nia Gladney.
Yeah, a good rebound there by Gladney and finish there. Hines just right out of her reach and commits the foul.
Team foul. Gladney at the line to complete the 3-point play.
Only 18 minutes for Ava Bardick, but this will be the first time this year that she's been held below double figures.
Yeah, not a great shooting night from Ava Bardick, but it was one where you also didn't need her to be really good. And then obviously did not have the minutes like she usually does in a game to get to those double digits.
Travel called on Liv Myers. A stat that we usually don't talk about a lot, but minute distribution. One could say that this could be a double bye for Illinois Wesleyan, given that their minute high is 23, that being from Sawyer White, averages north of 30. Everybody else below that.
Yeah, but the great thing is you got out and played a game against a different opponent than yourself. You're seeing something different. And so, like you said, it is kind of like a bye, but you still have that opportunity to play against competition.
Play against competition, and then you get back into that normal schedule. Hines, rebounded by Bowen. You get the live game reps, and also you get to try some different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're getting live action from everyone in your program, which is really important for, like you said, a team that has 9 freshmen.
It's also more for opposing coaches to focus on when they look at the stat sheet, translate that into film. About a 4-second difference between shot and game clock. Five to shoot. Hit off the rim. They'll dribble this one out, and that'll do it. Illinois Wesleyan with strong second and third quarters, a defensive masterclass from Maya Smith's squad. They defeat the Vikings for the 6th time in a row, 77-39, our final.
Yeah, just too much from this Titan squad for a Vikings team that, is a little shorthanded to start with, and they came out from, their bye and really were the aggressors after that first quarter, and really that made the difference in the game.
Per usual, we'll be joined by Maya Smith and a player guest before a jam-packed, what I would call an intermission show between the women's game and the men's game as we celebrate Eric Stock and Joel Swanson. It was very funny. They didn't know they were being recognized until Coach Ron Rose told them earlier this week. Coach Rose also in his 20th year with the program, so it's kind of nice for that trio. They've been through everything together in the Round Rose era of Titan men's basketball.
Yeah, always fun when you've, the coach has been there for as long. You guys, they go through so much together, whether people realize that or not, just because they are a part of every game. And so, that's an awesome recognition and fun for Coach Rose to be, the one to tell them that as well.
In games like this, we mentioned shouting out the broadcasters. Shout out to our athletic communication staff, Katie Gonzalez, the rest of the crew. You get a game like this, it's hard to choose the player of the game, and today's winner, Caitlin Layden. So we'll be joined by Caitlin and Coach Smith in just a bit when we come back on the CCIW Network.
Coach.
77-39, our final. Illinois Wesleyan victorious over North Park. They win their fifth CCIW game. Matt Sossler, Brittany Carper, head coach Maya Smith. Coach, you had 11 scorers against this North Park squad last year. You improve on that. I believe 13 players scored the basketball today. Your defense gives up less than 40. What worked for the Titans this afternoon?
I think our defense created a lot of, hit-aheads, a lot of early lay-ins, layups for us. So I definitely think it started with our defense, and it was a good game to reward all of our players, who worked so hard in practice day in and day out. So we were happy about that. No starter played more than 22 minutes, so that's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it there, Coach, with just rewarding everyone who's a part of your program. How important are games like this for them to get that experience in a game setting when most often they're just in practice trying to make everyone else better?
True. And you know what? In practice, our bench is really good. They win a lot of our contests, some of the things we do. They're really good in shell drill, and they're phenomenal in running our scout stuff that we need to do. So it's awesome that they get a chance to play when the lights are on.
Sawyer White, I mentioned this in the first half, on pace for another fantastic game. She hit that with her minutes played. Caitlin Layden taking over in that first quarter that was tight. What are your thoughts on Sawyer's play and then Caitlin really carrying the load in that first quarter?
I love Caitlin's first quarter. You are exactly right. She was everywhere she needed to be, elevated on her shot, had great focus. You knew when she touched it that it was probably going to go in. And Sawyer just is always going to be Sawyer. She's going to make things happen on the defensive end. She's going to look for her shot when she's open. I'm thrilled that she's taking more shots. So.
Yeah, and a player we kind of talked about on the broadcast, and Raina Robinson, just how important is she going to be for you in this, later in this conference season, just as a player off the bench that can kind of provide that spark?
Yeah, energy, for sure. She comes in and puts some defensive heat in, and she is one of the best passers we've had in a long time. Sawyer gets a lot of assists, but Rena is very creative a lot of times in the passes that she can see on the floor. I love that about her. And she's got a great mid-range pull-up, and lately her three-point shot has been so good in practice. I think she hit one today, didn't she?
She did, yes.
Good.
A complete effort for the Titans against the Vikings. You got Milliken on Wednesday. What's it going to take to keep this momentum going?
Matt, I have not looked at Milliken yet. I know they've got a transfer post player that's starting to get some minutes for them at the semester. And then always, Coach Kristen Hammer, she does a great job with getting her team prepped and ready for stuff. So I'm sure they're working on their press offense a little bit, but we'll be ready.
Round 4 of the Big Blue and the Titans in the Kirsten Hammer era on Wednesday night. But for now, the Titans celebrate a big victory over North Park. Matt Sossler, Brittany Carper, and head coach Maya Smith. Coach, thanks so much. Congrats.
Thanks for having me, Matt. I'll see you soon, Grandma Felina.
Caitlin Layden, tonight's player of the game, coming up after this on the CCIW Network.
OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute has been named one of the top hospital systems in the country for heart care. This prestigious award by the American College of Cardiology comes from our commitment to providing the highest quality of care, from general cardiology to complex surgeries and the latest technology. Nationally recognized heart care right here. OSF Healthcare Cardiovascular Institute.
Welcome back to the Shirk Center. Illinois Wesleyan big winners against North Park. Matt Sosser, Brittany Carper, and today's player of the game, Caitlin Layden. Caitlin, 16 points, really the driving force of this team in the first period. Walk me through your afternoon.
Honestly, we went into this game thinking like it's any other game. I mean, the coaches really emphasized that every team's going to give us their best game, and we had to take care of business here tonight, and I think we did exactly that. So.
Yeah, Caitlin, just touch a little bit on, I think early your mid-range was really good. Is that just kind of a feel to you, or do you know kind of if that feels good early? Because I think it looked like it definitely for you tonight.
Yeah, if I get to my spot, my feet are set, catch and shoot, and I'm very confident in it. Once I make one, I get going. So, yeah, they kept falling, so.
Going through the grind of the CCIW schedule, coming off the bye, heading into North Park, and you're now into the real grind of the conference season as a freshman. What's it been like going through that and getting into rhythm?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot, but we take it day by day, and I think this week of practice, even though we had a bye, we're still working hard every day, and I think every day in practice this week, it's just gotten better and better. And even though, the bye week is great for us to rest a little bit, no game on Wednesday, but we're just going to take it week by week and keep grinding.
Yeah, and then you kind of touched on it, but with only playing, the high of 23 minutes today on your team, how important is that as you look ahead and what's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have, all of us, been playing a lot of minutes, so I think taking that role, I mean, I know every time I'm out there, I know, we need leaders on the floor, and we got our whole bench in today, which is amazing, and coming up, I know there's going to be some tough matchups, so yeah, got to get used to it. Yeah.
The Titans, big winners against North Park, 77-39. Matt Sosser, Brittany Carper, and today's player of the game, Caitlin Layden. Caitlin, congratulations on a great performance.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wrap up the program after this on the CCIW Network.
When competition for the best jobs is fierce, how do you set yourself apart? Experience? An education? Yes, but not just any education. At Illinois Wesleyan, we prepare graduates who break through the noise, who run the boardroom, the classroom, the lab, the stage. The best college for jobs in Illinois is right in your own backyard. Reach further, dream bigger, and break through at Illinois Wesleyan University.
Wrapping things up from the Shirk Center in Bloomington, Matt Sosser alongside Brittany Carper. Illinois Wesleyan victorious against North Park University. The Titans improved to 5-0 in league play via 77-39 win. Based on what we've heard from Caitlin and Coach Smith, where do you think this Titan team sits at heading into Milliken on Wednesday?
I think they're a really confident team. They, have some rested legs even after having a bye week, with only starters playing at most 23 minutes, but you're still getting that game competition. They have to be really pleased, I think, what they're doing defensively. They forced 27 turnovers today. And then again, what's always been successful for them is crashing the glass as well with 21 offensive rebounds. So I feel like their headspace is really good in terms of feeling confident in what their team is doing right now.
The Titans led nearly every offensive and defensive stat category by double digits, including the scoreboard, 77-39. Our final, my thanks to our entire crew. Our AFCOM staff led by Katie Gonzalez. Our streaming crew led by Tyler Wilson. And for Brittany Carper, I'm Matt Sosler. Illinois Wesleyan improves to 10-4, 5-0 in league play. North Park slides to 4-10, 0-5 in CCIW action. Our next broadcast will be the Titans against Milliken this Wednesday from the Shirk Center. We'll have the call for that one in the good old Central Illinois Route 51 showdown as Illinois Wesleyan seeks their 4th straight win against the Big Blue. A special celebration in Titan men's basketball coming up right after this on the CC